Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to the first video for 2019. So the New Year period was a very busy time for me, not only because of jobs that I had, but also because of moving house. So I moved house. This is a new space as an office space. My previous place didn't really have a dedicated area for me to have an office or studio type area to film these videos. So now this is something I'm still working on, but it's almost complete, and you can see I've got my enlarger on this sort of mobile trolley that I can move in and out of the bathroom for darkroom printing. I've got my computer desk over here with my Epson scanner and printer, and just got a new desk there. Really happy with how that's set up. But one of the coolest new things is over here. This shelf is something I already had before for all my camera gear, but the newest addition is this awesome 1 hour photo neon sign. So this is a genuine 1 hour photos sign that I acquired from a small independent lab that I used to use regularly. You might have seen it in some of my previous vlogs. It was a place called Jade Studio. Unfortunately, he decided to shut down after many years in business, and this was gonna go to waste, and I was really pleased to be able to get my hands on this. My partner Sarah actually knew I was planning on chasing it up, and she did all the work for me and surprised me with it one day. It was a bit broken up. The tubes had sort of fallen off the backboard there, and I cleaned it up, repaired it, glued it back together, and it's awesome. So that's going to be sort of maybe a part of the studio space and for these videos going forward. Let me know if you like it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a more permanent space to do these videos in. So besides the move, it's been a really interesting transitional period for me ever since quitting my day job. And since then, I've been focusing more on developing my own personal skills as a photographer. And I've even, I took some time off and went to Perth, which is my hometown. Now, while I was there, it was a really great time. I even had a chance to catch up with Cooper from the Shoots with Coops channel, which I'm sure a lot of you guys will be aware of. Ever since meeting him during that time I did the Perth vlog, we've stayed in touch. So we decided to just go down the highway, drive, and just stop wherever we decided looked interesting enough to shoot. A few really interesting photos, especially some of Cooper's. I'm sure you can see them on his Instagram. So if you don't already follow him, I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description for this video. And I decided to shoot a bit of, I think it was Fuji C200 that I rated at 100, and also had some black and white that I was finishing off. So I was shooting Pan F50 combined with an orange filter. You can see I did a couple of portraits of Cooper while we were down on the side of the road in front of some farm. And overall, it was great catching up with Cooper, so thanks for that, man. I'm sure I'll catch you the next time I'm over in Perth or when you come over here to Melbourne. So this year, I also want to focus on doing more printing, and I've already been down to Brock's space work in process, which I'm sure you guys also know about from previous videos. And he's been trialing the darkroom, and I went there and did some trial runs on the darkroom, which was an awesome space to print. So anyone in Melbourne, make sure you follow him on Instagram and keep up to date with the developments in the darkroom space and how that's going to work. But it was a really cool place to print. Besides that, as you guys might already know, I have my Epson inkjet printer. I'm going to focus more on trying to make some prints using that. Until now, I still haven't done anything bigger than A4 prints. But before leaving my previous job, I made sure to use my staff price to get some larger size paper. I've got some Hahnemühle paper here. Now Hahnemühle is a great brand for inkjet printing paper, and this one here is A3 Plus. So that's sort of like you can print 12 by 18 roughly with a border on top of that, so you can frame it. And it's a a pearl finish, this one. So I'm really looking forward to making some prints on that, and I'll be sure to show you guys my progress as I do those prints. And another thing is with printing, what I've generally done is, if I need a high resolution scan, is get a FlexTight scan, or also really versatile is to do a macro scan of the negative or slide. So I've been doing macro scans ever since maybe 5 years ago. It was one of the very first ways I even tried to scan my negatives, because I think I was too poor to even pay for it, because I would just get prints. And I've always had a macro lens for my Canon digital setup. So I'll just put the negative on a light box and scan it, and until now I'd been inverting the negative using Photoshop or Lightroom, or I'd even experimented with plugins like Color Perfect. So until now I'd been messing around with a lot of different methods for converting color negatives. But when I met Robin and caught up with him when he was here in Melbourne, so if you've seen that video, I'm I'm sure you know who he is from his channel. He's got a channel called The Real Sir Robin, and he told me about a new plugin that had been in development or just come out called Negative Lab Pro. So I hadn't heard of it yet, and he showed me how it integrates with Lightroom, and it's just seamless. So you don't have to have photos in multiple different areas and chuck them into Photoshop, and it's all in Lightroom, where I'm sure a lot of you guys already have your workflow for your digital photos and your film scans. And I eventually downloaded the trial, tried it with a few color negative scans I'd done with my camera using macro lens on top of a light box, and I was pretty amazed by the results. I'd watched some of the videos that they'd put up showing the workflow. It seemed really intuitive, and it was a little bit like the workflow you experience with actual lab scanners in terms of the color and density adjustments, which I thought was really cool. And as soon as I tried it for a few negatives, I contacted Nate, who is the man behind this plugin, and he was nice enough to give me a free copy, which I'm going to use to review. So I'm going to keep using the software to scan and convert more negatives, and once I have a really good idea and have my head around it, I'll show you guys that review. And at this point, I can really recommend that you download the trial for yourself. It lets you convert, I think, about 12 negatives, but it's great. It doesn't involve too much messing around if you're already experienced with doing macro scans of your negatives. But what I find is it's almost a one-click conversion. If you follow the instructions properly, you have a really good base scan, which then you can make minor adjustments to. So I'm going to focus more on that, trying to scan my own negatives in high res and printing them on my own printer to try and bring the whole workflow home and cut a bit of cost. So I want to thank Nate from Negative Lab Pro for giving me that free copy, and I'll keep using the software and hopefully have that review up sometime soon. So this year I also want to continue to try and experiment more with shooting large format. As you may know, I just got into shooting large format with a camera that I'm borrowing from a friend. While he's overseas, I'm using his large format camera. I've shot a few sheets on it and really want to do a review on shooting large format and give a point of view of a first time experience for someone like myself shooting large format for the first time. And I want to shoot a little bit more before I have enough material, enough shots to really make that review. So look forward to that coming up soon as well. So I hope you guys are excited for 2019 in terms of photography as much as I am. And it seems like film photography just continues to keep growing every year. I've got heaps planned for this channel, and by the time this video goes online, I think the channel would have hit about 10,000 subscribers now, which for me is huge. Like, I wouldn't have thought it would ever go this far. It started off just as something we did for fun, and look at where I am now, and I can't thank you guys enough for continuing to follow and support the channel. So thanks for watching this short update and introduction into 2019 for Pushing Film, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.